Alright, we are live. And we are live just in time to see me wrestling with my gloves. These are the gloves that are meant to mean that on the touch screen, especially a gesture screen, that I'm not actually picking up on my hand gestures too much, but of course that's only works if you can actually get your hand in the glove. Where? Okay. Special stream. Outside of my normal stream schedule, this is just a chill. I have to work on this map today, so probably for the next 2 hours or so, I'm going to be working on Necropolis, and might as well chill out with you at the same time, right? Let's record it. Let's see what I'm working on. Let's go from there. But before we do, I gotta give a shout out to the Patreons and the Twitch subscribers. Honestly, I do this for you. I really, really, really do. So if you watch my videos, if you are an active backer of one of mine, thank you so much. It's the reason why I get up in the morning. It's the reason why I haul myself from a meeting into the Twitch stream. And like, don't eat, don't collect money. Don't collect money? That makes no sense. But you get the idea. It's just go, 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 and I do it for you. So thank you for being a supporter. It is really empowering. Thank you so much. So every single one of these cool people, minus the cow, cool kids on the block. Let's take a look at what we're working on. We are working on Necropolis right here and Dungeon Tomb. Hello, my friend. Hello. I'm gonna... What have I got? Oh, that's my Streamlabs. I was like, what program is this down there? A Streamlabs. Dungeon Tomb. I know. Surprise little stream, huh? I guess things like this are good for you because it's not the middle of the night for you. So you actually get to hang out with us for a little bit. Oh, and we should actually be doing this. Hold on a sec. Hotkey, auto hotkey. Hold on a sec. We are experimenting with a tool so you can actually see the cursor a little bit easier. Let's see if it's going to work on today's stream here. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. You should be able to see a little yellow circle. So hopefully that's going to be a little easier to track. So if I do a little bit of a zoom in, because this will probably be the room that we work on today. You should be able to now see my cursor. That little bit easier. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's an improvement. Treeball, there you go. Happy weekend to both of you. So, let's take a look at what we're working on. I think I want to do this area right here, but I don't know what this area is. So this is room 13, and then we've got A, B, and C. So let's see what we're dealing with. Here we go. Now, by the way, this is a big description, this room. It's a huge description. I'm not going to read it all out. This literally is something like 2 pages of description. I'll give you the summary, but we've obviously done most of the work. We're doing the actual inscription that's on the floor there. What I want to do is there's a statue, and I think the statue falls in the bottom corner right there. So we're going to take a look at the statue, draw the statue. If I have a statue in my library, I'm just going to plop that in place, get some dust and muck on the floor, get some cobwebs going on. Then I want to see what's going on in these rooms up here. And so that's where I'm going to focus our effort today. Are there any doors? There are no doorways here. So, description. This is a 30 feet square with a small exit about 5 feet wide and 7 feet high in the west wall. They're referring to this. No, the west wall is over here. I'm a dope. West is north. Don't ask. In the far left-hand southeast corner, that's here, is a huge statue of the evil one. An arch enemy. Oh, the arch enemy that you seek. It stands on a 4-foot plinth and holds a great iron rod in its hands. On the floor, in the center of the room, is a circular mosaic. That's what we can see right there. Showing the 12 divisions of the sky. So we've got that. We need to add, and I'll erase this in a moment. We need to add a statue right there. Now it's a statue of like this dude with a rod from above. That never looks particularly interesting. So let's see if we've got something in a library that's actually going to look a little bit more ominous. Maybe like a black statue or something. Now I think it's implied that the statue is blocking this, and I'm gonna come back to that in a moment. Because I think the statue is standing on top of like a secret door. But the map doesn't show that. But I don't think the stairs are actually visible to players when they come in. The description assumes that the players are standing over here, by the way. That would actually be the southeast, wouldn't it? No, you're right, Treeboy, you're right. In the far left southeast corner. Well, no, hold on. This is north. So southeast is here. So this is southeast. It's the way that they've got this thing orientated. Alright, so one thing that is in the description here, by the way, is as soon as anyone enters the room, the statue's eyes glow as a continual flame. I think what I'd like to do is actually do a glow effect on the statue, you know? Wallpapers, writing, huge description of the actual center. Actual center mosaic. Let's call it mosaic. Don't need that. Then it's got things about turning the dial. Right, the plinth. I don't want to read any spoilers out loud. The 4-foot tall block is 6 feet square. Okay, that's a pretty big block. Something's not adding up here in the description. It's really confusing. Alright, so let me zoom out just a little bit. And let's change our pen color. In fact, let's just do a temporary layer so I can actually draw a little bit. This is area 14 here, okay? And they've described that we've got a statue here on a plinth, okay? Area 14 has this description, or it has this title, Entry to Secret Stair. So that right there makes me go, well, what's secret about this? Because the statue is not blocking anything. The place beneath the trapdoor is dusty. So there's a trapdoor in here somewhere. And I can't figure out where this trapdoor's meant to be. So, like, this plinth here, it, like, talks about, like, something inside the room, and it will follow the party to Area 14 if the trapdoor is left open. And there is nothing on the map that shows a trapdoor. I feel there's a trapdoor here. There's something I'm completely missing. Trueball says, I wish they sent you the new version, having you go by the old locks and what they can and cannot do. I don't know what that means, I'm sorry. Is this not the new version that I've got here? Is there another version after this one? This is really breaking my brain now. It's like, I actually wish I had the PDF. I do actually somewhere. But a searchable PDF. There's a trapdoor in here somewhere. Hold a minute. It's talking about if you play around with the rod here. If you topple the statue and use the iron rod to pry as a pry to move the plinth. Okay. So this is actually under the description for the rod, not the description for the plinth. What the actual? The secret door is easily detectable. This is the first time a secret door is actually mentioned. So if this is a secret door, shouldn't this be walled? I mean, because the party will go, who? Just what's here? And they'll just go that direction. I mean, shouldn't this be like this? Shouldn't we do a wall there? At least for this is the player version of the map, right? And then from a DM perspective, on the DM version of the map, we would do like an S there, right? Yeah, this is a sword and sorcery version. Copyright 2002. So I guess it's 19, 20 years old. And by the way, none of this is marked on the map, like at all. But I think there's a trapdoor on. Well, they've outright said there's a trapdoor underneath the plinth. So I think we have to wall that off. I think we have to. Which is kind of weird, because then, like, a trapdoor underneath the plinth here. I mean, I guess, okay, it's all 3D and everything, but then that implies there's a hole, and the hole must drop down onto the top of the stairs, and then you crawl down into Area 14 beyond. That has to be it. That has to be it. So I'm gonna draw a wall there. Otherwise, none of it makes any sense. So let's get our wall going. Got our wall colouring, we got our ink walls. Let's do that. Let's get our black, get our brush box going. Hard round, there we go. And we're gonna make this like a 20 in size. There we go. Now, I hope I can actually draw, by the way, with this little colour circle here. We're gonna give it a shot, okay? This is the first time I've actually used this highlighting tool. Hopefully it's good for us. Someone's logged in as me. Actually, Treeboard they do, and we're going to have him as a guest here shortly. His name is Mark Greenberg. He is doing a complete review of the entire original material and rewriting it so it makes sense or is clearer. And we're going to have him on, and he's available to us to clarify things like this. This room, by the way, what he's going to do, let me take a step backwards. He is going to rewrite to whatever we do with the map. Let me just start there. So I don't think we can make a mistake. The writing will match what we do. He will adjust the writing if need be. But things like this room, yes, I can outright reach out to him and say, so Mark, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm going to do, or what do I do? And Mark is there for this type of thing. 100%. I feel like the direction we're about to go in is correct, so I'm not going to stop this room. I'm just going to proceed because I'm pretty damn sure we're right. You know what I'm saying? Also, there was like here. There was something in the description here that did not make sense. And so I wrote to them and like, so this is what I want to do. And they were like, yeah, do it. So we do have people we can reach out to. Oh, there you go. Mark's a great guy. Mark's a great guy. Yeah, he is the lead on this one. You know, I'm actually tempted to get rid of our stairs here underneath. I really am, because it would be full width like this. I'm probably gonna do that. It's a shame because those stairs look pretty damn good. Right. Now, one thing the yellow thing's not doing is it's actually not following my eraser, so that's interesting. I think my brush is too thin. I'm gonna change that. Let's just get rid of our floor. Let's just get rid of our floor. Let's just start there. It's times like that, though, Treeball. Like, I kind of want to draw the ladder, you know what I'm saying? But we're not doing any of that. Because if we draw the ladder, the players will see it. But it's like, I want to draw the trapdoor. I actually want to draw a stone trapdoor on this thing. Alright, so ink, walls, wall colouring. Let's do some wall colouring. Let's do this thing. Ah, shit, my wall coloring's on a different layer. Okay, I'm gonna have to rasterize this. We could always unrasterize it later. I've rasterized several layers on this map to make performance a little bit better because it's so huge. Alright, colouring. We'll do at least 3 passes, and then I'm not going to get sort of too detailed with it. We'll come back and do details later on. So we do highlight, top left. Maybe a little bit across the middle. Grab a darker colour. Even though there's no light hitting this, it makes no sense. I just like doing my texturing this way. While we're here, may as well do a little bit on these next to it. Let's do some super highlights. Again, it's a wall. There's no freaking highlights in the wall. I know that. I just like getting the texture in to look that way. And then let's smudge it a little bit. Let's up the strength. There we go. We're going to come back over all of the wall blocks, by the way, before we're done with this particular project. And we're going to colour all of the wall blocks to be more like... Where's the finished one? Where's the finished one? More like these. They'll have some extra details on them, like a little bit of that. But not today. Not today. We'll do a separate stream for that. This is enough. I am now going to convert that to a smart object to make performance better. Alright. Now I have a plinth, by the way, done. Here, I'm going to use this plinth. These statues are a throwaway. I'm going to be drawing these statues. But I was using these for placement purposes. But I worked on this plinth off camera. So I'm going to use this. And I think I have that. I think I have that as a separate layer. But I'm not sure. So I'm just going to grab it right now. Right, let's grab him. There we go. And I think I'm going to use this. In fact, I could grab him and the plinth. He's got a rod. Well, we'll see. Come on. Come up. And one thing that this is going to cause, though, is it's potentially going to overlap the floor design, which I'm not happy about. Let's push it up against the wall. I don't want it to be on the floor design. It's described as being 6 feet across. I don't want it to be 6 feet across. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Let's do something like that. Hey, Alex Vixen! This is just a special hangout day. I've got to work on this map. I normally would do it off camera, but streaming anyway. It's good to see you. You know what? Let's do that, Treebor. It's not described that way at all, but I think it's implied. I think you're right. I think you're right. I like the cut of your gypsum. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, because it doesn't have to be centralized, does it? Underneath the plinth, there is a secret door. No, I like that. Now, let me just check where I have this organized right now. You know, this plinth is actually large. I'm going to actually move it up. So we have a deeper shadow. There. I'm going to move it there. I'm going to hit save. This is one thing, by the way. One reason why I like drawing and hanging out. While I do draw and get less done, it tends to be more accurate because people like Treebor going, I think it should be X instead of Y. And Treebor, I think you are 100% correct, sir. I'm going to come back to them. So one thing about this is it doesn't describe the statue, like, at all. But I'm wondering if there is an NPC picture in here of this fellow, the main protagonist, because it ain't him. It's like I want to know what we're drawing here. Alex Vixen, honestly, my friend, it's okay. It's okay. We're all going through, we're meant to be going through, right? Lockdowns and things like that. This is a very demoralizing time to be alive, for sure. These are hard times in the world. They really are. And I mean, you knew that I crashed out myself, like last October. I went through a hard spell. And I've got personal friends in real life going through like their own sort of, I want to say they're breaking apart, you know. And I think we all are at different sort of times. So I get it. I get it. We're here for you if you ever want to just hang out. And if you just want to be on your own, that's okay too. Because we're still going to be here when you're ready to come back. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, who they are hunting, exactly, Treebor. So it's like, okay, can I get a picture of who they're hunting? I'll take a two-poop. Why not? It's a Sunday. It's a hangout day. Alright, I'm in the monster block. He's got to be in the monster block, right? I think it's like or something, but pronounced better than that. Jack's looking at me in a disgusted blank way. I can see him at the corner of my eye. Okay, well, I'm into the S's now, and he is an R, so hold on a sec. Unless no, it's just gone straight from O to S. Do they have him in maybe they have him in a special location, so hold on a sec. What the hell? Does he not have a stat block? Oh, that makes no sense. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. This book can't be completely missing the main protagonist. He's got to be in here. A nice little breakdown of Egyptian gods and goddesses, by the way, in the end here. That's very nice. New domains, new spells. This is kind of cool. I'd actually like to play this one through, I think. Table of contents. Oh, damn it, Tree Boy, you keep making sense. There has to be one, right? All of the maps. Cool. Oh, uh-oh. I don't think there's a table of contents. Well, there's a table of contents, but I guess there's no index. Okay, so hold on a sec. Hold on. He has to be in here. Maybe he's not in the monster section, because they're, like, generic to the entire book. So let's get out of this section. Alright, this looks like a big bad. Rahotep. Rahotep is who we're looking for. Here we go. Rahotep the Unmortal. Not immortal, unmortal. A vampire lich. Rahotep, a vampire lich. I am not going to read his stats out, but he is a CR 29. Okay. There's no picture of him. I'm going to have to Googleize this. There's no picture of him. I guess he's a vampire lich. Shit. Okay, I'm tempted just to draw something here. Alex Fix It, this is why I love having you in the chat. My name is Fa-Sha-Sha-Tu, the destroyer of kingdoms, tyrants of deserts, pirate king of the 12 seas. Can you say your name again without the titles? Fa-Sha-Sha-Tu. Yeah. Alright, I'll have this sec. Alright, let's Googleize Rahotep. Oh, it's dude, the real life dude. He doesn't look like a vampire lich, does he? There may not be a picture of this dude. I wonder if they're going to do one. Interesting. Interesting. Good news, Treebor. In the meeting that I had a little earlier on, Pex and I were discussing adding emotes to the Twitch channel. And also the Discord channel. So our own custom emotes. That'll be nice. Yeah, Alex, yeah. I mean, sure, it sounds cool. I'm a vampire lich mummy. Wait, what are you? Yes. I'm also a skeleton and a zombie. And a mind flayer. I'm just going through my library, by the way, seeing if there's something that I want to use here. Oh, he could be nice. This is actually a pro fantasy piece. Actually, this guy could work. What if I make a statue out of this guy? And I feel like keeping the book in his hand, and we'll change this to a rod, and we make him grey, we turn him into stone. That could be kind of cool. just a mummy with fangs. Or do we do a mummy? I mean, I don't feel like we should be doing a mummy. But I have nothing to go off. I don't know if he's meant to be a mummy. Is he a mummy? A skeletal mage with long pointed teeth. All liches wrapped in rags? I guess they are, aren't they? But we don't want a mummy. Mage robes. Maybe some bandages? We could do some bandages. I mean, we could take this guy and edit him up and actually get some bandages and things like that on him. On the forearms and everything? I think that could work. Yeah, we definitely won't do his face and hands. I think we've got something to work with. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's edit this guy. And we'll do it large because then we'll shrink him down. It'll enable us to capture the details. But if we robe him... So we could robe him, but let me show you what a robed dude would look like. Hold on a sec. I have a robed dude. I was actually looking at this particular robed dude and then sort of dismissed him. If we did... By the way, we don't need to overthink this, like, at all. But... Because it's just a statue on the map, right? But if we make him robed... And we totally could. It would look more like this. Oops. We'll get rid of the weapons, etc. Which I think could totally work. This guy's a little bit more ominous. Let's change our, oh, so that's our, delete brush. In fact, let's just change the erase brush to this. Prefer the previous one? You see, I liked the bald-headed aspect of him. I feel if we did him, but kind of robed him even a little bit, did some robes, like, let me go back here. If we did him, but we actually robed him, maybe we got some bandages or something in there too. I like his bald head. I like the black lines that he's got going on. He seems a little bit more Rahanotep or Rahotep. Rahotep. Yeah, let's try this guy. Let's try this guy. I feel like that foot too could. In fact, I feel like. Hold on a sec. I don't feel like we need to show his foot at all, sticking out. He's got robes on here. Alright, let's start with this dude. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring him over here. I really love this dude, by the way. I love both of these guys. I love those movies. Like, a huge amount. Yeah, okay, let's do this guy. And let's even get the gold in there. Let's do it. Right over the ropes. Let's give him the necklace like he's got here. Let's do this. Let's do this. I really like that. Great idea. I'm going to put this off to one side, but keep that open. I think we can get close to that. And yet those movies were so good. They were just so good. They were a little bit like, I want to say Raiders of the Lost Ark, in that they were just good entertainment, you know? They were almost wholesome. You could just lose yourself in them. Yeah, we could definitely give him some robes. We could definitely, like, over the shoulders, kind of like here. And then down cover the arms. Yeah, down to cover the arms. Get some gold in there. Even though it's a statue, we can still have gold. Have his forearm and his fist showing. Yeah. Like the take on the Yeti in the third. I don't remember that, Alex Vixen. Can you find me a picture? Alright, I just want to sketch this out first. I'm going to sketch on a higher level than him so we can do take-backs, etc. But yeah, this guy, like, it sort of falls off the shoulder. Oh, I'm drawing in grey. Let's get black. There we go. Alright. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to capture our highlights first. Oh, not there. Not there. My plan is to draw the robe, colour the robe, get the highlights and the lowlights, and then we'll add the gold effect on there. Yeah, it was the chemistry between the main actors and actresses. That was a huge part of it. Oh, okay. You know what? I completely forgot about this guy. I completely forgot about him. I think I've only watched the third one like once. So that would actually cover... So he's actually got part of his chest is open. So this would kind of fall down into the folds. But yeah, that's all kind of open down below. So this is dark. You want to create a shape-changing snow leopard? I want to watch the movies again. It's been a long time since I've seen them. What are you doing? Three years, God, for me, it's gotta be going back. Honestly, I think I haven't watched them easily. Well, I haven't watched them with Jack, like, at all. I don't think I've watched any of them with Jack. And I've been with Jack for 10 years. So... last time I watched them is going back into the last decade, solidly. Ah, true ball, that makes sense. That makes sense. You can't come here, Puppet. You can't. Come on. Come, momentarily, and then I'm going to kick you off. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. Yes, we all love you. Yes, we do. Come on then. Oh. It's one of those series too where I think you're safe introducing it to folks, because I don't think it contains anything that would just be inappropriate, right? That's one thing I love about it. Oh, this gold on this picture here. Look at that. I have to rewatch this movie now. I gotta do it. You know what? Actually, let me. We'll get rid of this in a moment. But I want a colour swatch off it. So let's put that right there. And hold on a sec. Let's zoom in. Alright. Trubo, don't get me started. Don't get me started on age. I don't know how old you are, but I'm going to guess that you and I aren't that far apart from each other. And it was something... I don't know, something that Jack and I were reminiscing back on recently. Like, part of our history, you know, something had happened. And it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, and it seemed like ages ago. I'm like, holy shit, it's 3 years really gone by. It's like time is going so quickly right now. It is nuts. I look at photographs of myself from the past and go, God damn, I look so young there. And I never used to think that about myself. Yeah, I'm in my 50s too. Yeah, you and I are pretty close. I think you and I might even be the same age. Like, it used to... there was a point where, not that long ago, where people I worked with that were like in a neighboring office, they didn't believe my age because I had my 50th birthday, and they were like, "No way, she's 50." Yeah, nowadays I feel like I've crossed a bridge, and it's like, yeah, she's 50. Although I still think I look a lot better than a lot of my school friends. They aged. They were good game. Sorry if you're one of my school friends, but it's true. Right. Oh, this is actually looking pretty good, and we're not even finished with it yet. This is gonna kick ass. Alex Vexen, that's harsh. That's harsh. I mean, look, I'm not gonna mention any names or anything, but so this is like, looks like it's got gold, pretty heavy down the sides. And maybe a little bit down the front here. So yeah, there was a really good friend of mine that I'd had for many years, and I'm just gonna say that I saw a picture of her when we were in our 40s, and I barely recognized her. I was like, oh. Time has not been particularly kind to you. Now I'm going to be coming in with a darker colour in a moment, so we can get our gold in the lower shadow areas. What are you doing, baby boy? What are you doing? Hey? Come on. What is this? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on now. Come on. Yeah, I think this is totally going to work. I think I might even extend the pattern out a little bit. But let's do the oh, you know what I should do? Let's make sure his sash is golded up. Let's do that. Yeah, and in fact, before I get much further, I'm gonna actually... I feel like it could even be a little bit darker, but I'll do that in a moment. So that cat that's begging for my attention has just gone through to Jack's office. Now begging for his attention. I can hear Jack going, stay up. Yeah, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. Alex Vixen, in 2019, I went to the nightclub that I used to work at as a bouncer, and one of the new bouncers carded me. Holy shit. That's cool. That's cool, though. That's cool. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? Come on. Yeah, this is gonna work. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. Total team effort right here. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't stream. Seriously, I wouldn't have done this. I'm not saying I would have phoned it in, but I would have gone with a completely different direction. So this is cool. This is why I love streaming. This is why I love getting live feedback. Oh, Treebor, honestly, my friend, would hug you right now if I could. I'm the same way. Because you go, like, at least for us right now, more than half of our life, right? There's part of your life where obviously you're just a kid. Then there's part of your life where you're getting carded and you deserve to. And then there's part of your life where you're getting carded and you don't really need to be. Right? You're well past that carded time. And it's very complimentary. I always remember I went on to one of the gambling boats in Louisiana. And I was close to 30 years of age at that point. You only got to be 21, and I got carded. And it's like, you know? And then, yes, there was then another point where they stopped carding you altogether. And it's like, oh, come on. And it's like, I get it, but come on, it's just rubbing it in at this point. Yeah, I'm at that point too. Like, Jack actually still gets carded occasionally. And I'm not talking about like our local liquor store. Our local liquor store cards everyone. It include honestly, you could be a vampire bloody lich and they would card you. But it's like a law because they've done some underage sales, so now they just card everyone, period. But even outside of that, Jack occasionally gets carded. I won't. And it's like, oh, come on. I don't know if to do the back. I'm really not sure about doing the back as well, if it would be like too much. I'm tempted to leave the back. I kind of like the predominance of colour matching this. Yeah, I actually need a slightly lighter brown here. Maybe even a touch here. I think that's looking pretty damn solid. Treebor, fun story, fun fact about me. I was going grey when I was 18 years of age. I take after my mum that way. I was having solid white hairs in my head at the tender age of 18. Because my first full-time and proper job, this guy came up to me and went, hold on. And like I had jet black hair too. Like jet black hair. So black that people thought I dyed it and I didn't. But then it also meant that the single white hair that would be out there, people would go, what the fuck? Look, what is this? About 8 hours 30. Very salt and pepper. Very salt and pepper. Like, just simmer jeans. Yeah, tree board. So I definitely had at least a bit of that going on. Without a doubt. A little bit of that going on. I'm loving this dude. I'm loving this guy. I don't think I need to fuck about with him too much more. I think what I'm going to do, she says fucking about with him a little bit more, is I'm just going to clean up the patterns a little bit. There we go. Now we do have to do a scepter on this guy. Yeah, the tree board, that's crazy. I wasn't that bad. I definitely, like, by the time I was 30, like, completely salt and pepper, 50-50, you know? Every other hair was white. But I wasn't completely white at the age of 20. That's kind of, that's nuts. Alright, scepter time. Scepter time. Actually, I want to look up a scepter. Oh, no, Alex Fixon. No, okay, no, hold on. So, on the carding story, he leaned in and whispered to the new bouncer. Remember that bouncer I told you about? The one that was known as the Gatekeeper. That's such a cool name. Yeah, you just carded her. Okay, can I ask you a story? Why did they call you the Gatekeeper? What? You sound like an awesome human being. You also sound like you could break me in half at a whim. I want to know why they called you the Gatekeeper. Scepter. Scepter time. Do. I misspelled scepter. I have still misspelled scepter. Well, why can't I spell scepter? Yeah, okay. This is why I'm struggling with scepter. Scepters could be literally anything. And there's nothing in the book. Man, really? Oh, there you go. We'll do a scepter like that one right there. Yeah, okay. Is there nothing in the book that really gives us a clue as to what this scepter looks like? I guess we could do anything we want, can't we? Egyptian scepter. Alright, Treeball. Stating the obvious that I managed to miss somehow, yet again. No one got past Alex Fixon, the Gatekeeper. I would card everyone, including a Saudi prince and his bodyguards. Which it wouldn't allow into the club with their firearms. Well, shit, yes. They were carrying firearms? Is that legal? In the UK? I guess because they were a Saudi prince, huh? Treeball. Actually, honestly, some pretty cool freaking images here. Let's see, my head was on like this, almost this one. But I like this one. Wow, these must be like genuine. This must be like a thing. I also like the idea of doing gold and blue. Yeah, apparently this is a thing here. Huh. Like, it appears a lot. Oh, how do you know that? So I can hear a very strange noise, and I didn't know if it was a cat causing trouble. How do you know that that was for priests? I like the idea in this hawk style. I like this. That's where my head was at. You studied Egypt. Okay. Yeah, I think something like that one right there. Golden blue. Defo. Let's do it. Let's not think no more. We're gonna do that. In fact, there we go. Just so we have reference. Rulership. Well, there you go. There you go. I'm glad you kind of were around to tell me that. That's awesome. So I think you we can put over here. You, I think we can get rid of you. But you were awesome. And you are the colouring, etc. that we're doing right now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I think I done effed up. Look at this. I've just done all of my colouring on this guy's layer. Okay, so hold on a sec. Let's get rid of you. Oh, I just deleted the wrong one. Hold on a sec. Let's get rid of you. God, I keep doing that. Alright, well, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And then you... So you're our base colouring. And so you're on that. So I'm going to do this. And then you are this one right here. So let's go over to there. Let's move you up here somewhere. Then let's come back to you. And then I'll just merge all of these guys. And it will be fine. Then we're going to shrink him down. We're going to throw him on the plinth. And we can call... This room kind of done. I want to get some sand in the corners and stuff and get some cobwebs and things. And then we can move on. Trooper, I bet, right? Studying Egypt in Egypt, that would be something awesome. Alex Vixen, they had handguns as diplomatic guards. Okay. I wouldn't bend on it, as I pointed out, that while the prince had immunity, his guards don't have full immunity, so they have to capitulate to the local law or security authorities if challenged. I bet that was a bit of a testy conversation, wasn't it, Alex? I'm gonna do another layer here, and I'm gonna draw this off to one side. And I think let's just start with a little bit of a darker colour. And let's get this shape done. Oh, you know what I could do? I'm a dope. Hold on. Trying to decide if I like the wonky line, and I don't think I do. So let's get rid of you, and let's redo it. The same principle, but different. I haven't done anything on this yet, so let's put you up there. Actually, you. Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. So we're gonna go. Tree ball, would it be bigger than that, size-wise, for a human? Because if so, I'll make it bigger. Like, I always imagine a scepter to be about that for me. So if I was holding it, it'd be kind of like, you know, what I'm seeing in the picture here. They're actually kind of small. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it at this size. And if we feel we need to reduce it down, we can. I don't mind reducing. Reducing is always a lot easier. Yeah, okay, so what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna do the blue as well on this thing. But we gotta start somewhere, and that somewhere is gonna be the yellow. Now this is underneath several grey lines, which is why it's looking a little bit funny. Oh, okay. Actually, Alex Fixon, that makes a lot of sense. They actually are quite small, aren't they? So, oh, and you know what? They've got that little priest one going on there too. So yeah, it's like with the arms down here, it's kind of almost from just at the bottom of the rib cage up to your shoulder length. So maybe 18 inches or so, maybe a couple of feet. Okay, okay. True, but that makes sense. That totally makes sense. I think our Rahotep could logically have both, but the book does say just one. So I think this is an appropriate one. Okay, let's do the blue. That looks like shit. Let's get rid of that. What's the best way of me doing this? That looks like crap. Maybe a different brush? Yeah, I'm not digging that. I am not digging that, like, at all. I want a different brush. What's this one? Let's try this. And look, this thing is going to be so small by the time we're done. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm kind of a little bit of a stickler for at least in the ballpark. Come on. And, like, that is not fucking it. Whoops. I noticed that. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in. It's gonna look like shit. Oh, you know what I should do? This whole stream is going to be drawing one statue. But this is kind of how it goes. This is how it went on some of the Tegel ones. I was lucky if I could get a room done. Okay, oh, I'm going outside. Hold on a minute. Hold on a seckie, Bo. Let's try this one. There we go. Now we could be a little bit more liberal. Yeah. Okay. Now we're in business. Now I can go nuts. Now we're cooking on gas. Okay. Alex, if you're still there, I have a complete different topic of conversation that I want to ask you. Armstrong and Miller, the British comedy show, back in, I want to say about 10 years ago. How many seasons did they do? And are they still going? Alright, this is taking shape. This is beginning to look the part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into his hand and then I'm going to delete the bit where his fist is holding it. The Hakwa scepter, or Shepherd's Crook. Shepherd's Crook! That's the name I was looking for. Was closely associated with the king and even used to write the word ruler and rule in hieroglyphics. Okay, it was essentially a long stick with a hooked handle, and later times it was often composed of alternate bands of blue and gold, which I really love. This scepter became one of the most famous emblems of kingship. It was thought that the Heka was originally associated with the god Anjeti, who was himself considered to be a ruler, while Osiris absorbed Anjeti Hial. This is looking like the dog's bollocks right now, I'm just saying. I don't think I've ever drawn a scepter like this before. I love it. I literally love it. I feel like I should actually save this scepter and put it in my library of parts. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I'm about to ruin the scepter by putting it in this guy's hands. And this looks cool. I think we might use this somewhere else in the dungeon. Armstrong and Miller are still going. That's awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Armstrong and Miller show has 3 seasons. Armstrong and Miller, which was retitled, has 4 seasons. That's why I can't find them. It's like I actually just recently watched 3 seasons, their early stuff, 1, 2, and 3, and then I could find no more. That's why I was asking about it. I was like, where did they go? Well, how come I can't find any more? Thank you. That answers that. I will now be able to go off and watch the rest of their seasons. I love those guys. I'm going to save this scepter. because I'm really happy with it. I'm just going to do a quick super highlight. Oh god, do I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna copy. No, I shouldn't need to do that. Hold on. I'm gonna actually export this as a PNG. Might as well show you how I'm gonna do it. Let me just make sure I'm on the right layer. Yes. Okay, so that one can go. Hold on a sec. This one here is my scepter. This one here is that. So I can delete you. Where's my delete? I was using a keyboard shortcut and it wasn't doing it. So let's just delete you. He's gone. Scepter still there. This one. Export as a PNG. Let's do it. I'm going to throw that in my components. And we'll call that a scepter. Nice. Gentlemanly Thoughts is here! Yay! Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Don't you know? And we're just hanging out. We're drawing little statues of Egyptian vampire liches. Don't ask. And you just came in just as we're about to drop this guy into context. And Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting 1-tier sub to Marlin's Girl. She will be happy. Marlin's Girl is a regular, so thank you for doing that. Yeah, Marlin's Girl is like, she's a regular. Hey, Wargaming Recon's here! Yay! He's lurking in the background. Alright. Let's put this scepter. Let's put this scepter right here. I feel like this guy is a big boy. You know what I'm saying? He's a bit of a thick boy. But he is the main protagonist. So we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna get rid of everything that's inside his hand. And I think that will look the part. I'm actually gonna have a word with the frogs, by the way, and I'm gonna share this statue of our protagonist, just so see if we can influence some of the artwork at all. What game have we gone? Good to see you, my friend. I know you were dealing with family today. We're going to be right now. That's looking pretty damn good, guys. That's looking pretty damn good. I am going to now merge all of this. So let me just check my layers. Oh, that's my pedestal. We'll keep that. We got our dude right there. I'm actually going to keep this guy. Hotep. I believe this is how the book has got him spelt. I think we are going to keep this dude exactly as he is on a separate layer, because I think this statue appears multiple times. So we have just created our statue. Let's get him dropped into context. And let's see how this looks. There we go. I'm going to do actually a shadow underneath him as well. I think we're in business. I think we're really in business. I think he looks great. How much longer will I stream? My friend, at least another hour. At least another hour. I know I normally go for about an hour and a half, but that's on week evenings. This is during the weekend, and what I would normally do off camera is work for about 3 hours or so. But just I'm happy to do it on camera, so we're going to go for at least another hour. I've got 3 rooms that I need to fill with stuff. We've been going for an hour and a half right now. I'm just going to go longer. I'm just going to go. You're going to catch the tail of my string. Don't worry about it, my friend. Oh, do you need to drop? Because if you need to drop, then it depends when you come back. But yes, I'm going for at least an hour. Treatboard's going to try and keep me here. All right, guys, let's go. No, we've got shit to do. We got shit to do. So what I'm doing now is I'm just dropping over to my let's try this size brush. Yeah, I'm dropping over to a real soft brush, and I'm going to give it a 25% opacity because I actually want to give a little bit of shadow under this thing right here. Let's get the book, cast a nice little shadow up there. Closer in on the skirt area. Sorry, robe. Sorry, Rahotep. Let's give it a little bit. Let's get his hands, casting a little bit of a shadow there. Something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, his eyes are meant to be doing this continual light. I actually don't want to do that. Because I think it's going to ruin the statue. I'm just going to leave that as is. And we're going to add some grunge on the floor and some cobwebs and shit. Because if I do beams of fucking light coming out of his eyes right now, it's going to look ridiculous. Plus, the room isn't as dark as the scenario should be. But if we make everything really super dark, well, you can't use it as a map then. So, I'm going to leave the lighting of him alone. Blue Sky Blackbird is here. Good to see you. You know we've got to add an alligator pit, and certainly alligators and stuffed alligators to this map. You know it. I don't even know where those emojis are coming from, by the way, but Blue Sky Blackbirds is kind of an interesting one. We're going to do some Cthulhu emojis, by the way. Got them lined up already. They look so cute. Crocodiles, not gators. All right. But you know. Let's get some cobwebs. Let's get some cobwebs and grunge on the floor. Let's start with the grunge. I do this whole dirt thing in every room. Unless the room is described as being like really super clean, I always muck it up a little bit, right? So I've got this floor debris layer. And we're gonna just spot right there on a little bit of sand. And let's just grunge it up just a little bit. That's a big ass push. Oh my god. Alex Vixen, we had the alligators especially imported to have an alligator pit. That's funny. But yes, you're correct. It's crocodiles. No, you're right. You're right. Alright, I'd like to add then some cobwebs to my rooms that also have not been visited for a while. I don't know why, by the way, I've got so many of these. I don't, no, I think I do, actually. I think I do. I think I do. I need to leave them for now. Cobwebs. Yeah, we could do that. We should totally do a piranha pit, by the way. But, like, what would the piranha pit look like other than just wet, like a pool? Right, this statue definitely doesn't move because it's got a cobweb on it. Look at that. He's been still forever. Everyone's safe, it's all good. Right, I think that's enough of the cobwebs. That room now looks worn, you know what I'm saying? Or deserted, I should say. Deserted. It looks like nothing has been this way in a while, and that's what I was shooting for. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's take a let's read what's going on in those rooms above while I hit save here. Gentlemanly thoughts, Miss. Jenna says, I'll be cooking while watching the stream, so silent for a while. Well, that's understandable, my friend. What are you cooking? Pheasant? Hopefully, maybe a little partridge? No? Or maybe a little fowl of some description? Maybe a duck, wild duck? Did you hunt it this afternoon? Maybe out on the lands with your double-barreled shotgun? Yeah, so tree ball, that's one of the things I saw. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, you darling creature? Oh, your little paws are going. You little softy. Sorry, Treebor. I had a cat looking at me and he's getting all kinds of worked up. Yes, you. Fella. What are we doing here? You gorgeous creature. Don't claw me. I saw Teagle in use at conventions on the full canvas print or cloth print, and they didn't ever bother with Fog of War, but they weren't really running it that way. It was like a convention game. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? I've got a cat up here go like that as I gesticulate. But I know they also did a version on VTT, various sort of software areas out there. And I'm going to guess for that, you could do the Fog of War. I mean, if you're going to print this entire map on cloth and then play it, I've not seen anyone try to hide sections yet. Like, that's all, but I don't know. But I think on virtual tabletop you could. Oh, Alex Fixon, I like that idea. Get the cobwebs back. Doesn't look like anyone's been here. Don't you worry about this. I like that. That's cool. That's definitely cool. And thematic, huh? I like it. Okay, anyway. So what is our area above? These are going to be rooms 13A, B, and C. So let's see what we're dealing with. In fact, I should know the difference between A, B, and C. A, right in the center there. B, C. She says, like that really makes any difference. So what have we got? Let's get past all of that. Here we go. Room A. In fact, should I draw these names here? Let's mark these rooms. Okay, we are dealing with here A. Whoa. Let's not do it quite that horsey. A, B, C. Okay. So A. Music room. 5 foot wide passage west open to, and west, by the way, is this. 5 foot wide passage west opens into a chamber in just 2 paces. This place is a small room of some 15 feet in length by 10 feet in width. It is an absolute jumble of strange musical instruments. Okay. Musical instruments are various sorts are herein arrayed in cases, on stands, or hanging on the walls. So not a jumble. It says it's an absolute jumble of strange musical instruments, but then says cases, stands, or on the walls. See, if you said to jumble to me, it's like you've just walked into like a trove collector, like piled high. Alright, so we got... Oh, that's underneath, so we can't do that. So we got musical instruments right here. Okay. I mean, it's not really a jumble, is it? If they're arranged in cases and on shelves, it's not a jumble. Treeball, I I have a suspicion your collection is a jumble. B. Fragrances. I'm not going to read the 5-foot wide passageway, blah, blah, blah. We get that. Okay. Small containers arrayed in various stands and on tables. Odd device sends smoke forth amidst this display. An odd device sends... Okay. Whoa. Okay, so we've got tables, bottles, shelves. That's what we got going on here. Okay. There's a small sensor on a wooden stand, smokes faintly, giving off a pungent stream of spicy smoke. So we're going to have smoke in here, okay? Cases, stands. You get the idea. Lots and lots and lots of bottles. Alright, so we're going to need like a table in the center with at least one sensor, and we'll have some billowing smoke coming off it. It didn't say towards the players, so we'll just have billowing smoke coming off around it. That's what's going to be in that room. So that's an easy one. We might start with that one. Hey, Brian! I think Area C is the skee ball machines. Alex Vixen. Okay, there's a list. Oh, actually, hold on, Alex Vixen. Hold on. Let me grab that list. Brian, good to see you, my friend. How did the move go, Brian? Let me grab this. Okay, and I'm gonna just quickly drop in like a quick note here. I know there are better ways of doing notes in Photoshop. Let's just keep it simple. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to keep that here, right? So I'm going to just keep this little puppy right there, because we can get rid of it later. That will give me some good inspiration for what we need to add to that room. Really, they threw cocaine in all of the mummies, huh? Brian, moving is up and out the top 3 of stressful things that in life, and yeah, it's really, really, really tiring. So I'm glad you finally got everything shifted across. Alright, Area C, skee ball room. The store of Zodiac materials. I think we could throw a skee ball in there. Brian, I'm going to throw a skee ball in one of these rooms, okay? A small room, yeah, we know that from the map. Has a plethora of statuettes and figures. Okay. Standing in rank after rank on shelves around the walls. Okay. So this is... Whoa. Statues, figures on shelves. Right here. There are also instruments and papyrus charts. Okay, so there's all sorts in there. Instruments and instruments and papyrus charts. Okay. What is the name of this room? Zodiac, okay. Alright, Dungeon Tomb, good having you here, my friend. I hope that 2021 is really kind on you and the pain you're suffering right now. And I hope you come out the other side of it. Alex Vixen, I tend to skip the spoilery areas of this. But let's just say there are TARDIS-like effects and shit going on in this area. Dozens of figurines ranged in height from 3 inches to a foot, so they're all fairly small. Some are carved from wood, bone, ivory, Okay. I'm not going to describe the effects of the room. Okay, I think we got it. And we are going to throw a ski ball in one of these rooms. Okay, I'm actually going to do it. We could always put things on top of it to mask what it is, but we'll know. So let's do furniture regular height. There we go. And now this room is... These 3 rooms are largely a jumble. They're thematic. I think the musical instrument room is one that I'm going to have to draw some stuff for. But things like the fragrances and bottles and shelves, and we've got the statues and figurines and shelves and charts and stuff. These I have a lot of items for already. So I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of shit and throw them in these rooms. Do you think if I actually did do the top of the TARDIS, do you think that would infringe copyright? I'm not going to do it, but I am curious about that now. Actually, Brian, that's true. That is very true. Okay, let me just grab some shit in here, and I'm gonna place them as I go. Because I'm actually looking for the ski ball machine that Brian sent me last year. Last year? Year before? Year before, right? Wow, time has flown. And actually, let's move them to my statue folder, because I'm going to need him. Oh, that is definitely statuette, so let's move him to my statue folder too. Oh, goddamn, I just found the Jen's ghost after I was hunting for it all of that time. I literally just found the Jen ghost. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? That shows how often I clean this folder up and keep things organized. Apparently I don't. Where do I have put the ski ball machine? I'm sorry. I'm sometimes I name things like really badly. Teagle named 2 years ago. Can you believe it's been that long? Can you believe it's been that long? It's like the entire of last year just didn't happen. You know? It's like we never got together at any conventions. We never hung out. And so it kind of, from a landmark, and now, okay, landmark fucking, like, global pandemic, yes, 100%, not arguing that. But from a landmark, at least in my life, of things that happened, nothing. Nothing happened last year. I did maps and shit like that, but, like, I'm pretty sure that outside of the pandemic, my life was nothing. Yeah, I did nothing. This piece has a TARDIS. Are you kidding me? Is above the waterfall, flowing off the castle's edge. Is this the waterfall here? Oh, no, here. Oh, is that it? There. Really? Really? I love this piece. I have seen this piece so many times, and it has a freaking TARDIS in it? That's nuts. God, my hair is out of control. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so I'm looking for statues and shit, but also I'm just doing a quick organization over here. What room was I gonna work on? Statues, figurines, musical instruments, fragrances. I need to just pick a room. Nice. Well, you know what? Let's just grab this little guy out right now. Hey, GL, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Gentlemanly Thoughts, who are you talking to? I didn't have a D&D game today. I haven't actually played D&D all year. Last year. I was playing a computer game with friends yesterday, virtually. We were playing 7 Days to Die, if you're talking to me. Brian, I don't know what I did with the ski ball, so I'm going to have to search for this. Hold on a sec. Ski ball. That's why I was in my folder over here. Ah, GL. Okay, GL, how was your D&D game? Brian, I found it. Now I just need to find where I actually put it. There we go. I'm going to put this in the room of musical instruments. And then we'll put some musical instruments and things like that on the top of it. And we'll know it's there. Sveinhander. What game is that? Actually, I don't know. How far back does skee ball go? I'm sure it's not Egyptian. But by the time we throw some musical instruments on the top of that, no one's going to know. Brian, right. Yeah, right. It's got holes at the top. And you throw balls. And clicky clacky 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 it makes musical sound. I think the debate is still open if it's a percussion or that. All right, okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Brian says, and I blow at it. All right, as far as I'm concerned, that's a musical instrument. 1908? Really? As recent as that? As recent as that? Interesting. Three days in Lake Geneva. Drinking, playing board games, and 1 RPG. That sounds actually pretty good. That sounds really good. You see, I like that idea. I like that idea. Get together with friends, you know, if you're all obviously pandemic free and using the house that you rented. You see, that's good. There's your mini con right there. I have not hung out with friends in like 9 months. Tree boy, your dad got it? I fear my mum and dad getting it. I really, 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 truly do. I'm glad that he pulled through. Obviously I am. Obviously I am. I kind of want to get some shelves and tables in here. I have this buttload of little statues and stuff, including Egyptian ones. But I don't want to start placing them until I actually get our furniture in here. Then we'll start with the details. Maybe there. Let's throw it up against the wall. I can imagine that you would, my friend. I really, really, truly do. That's not easy at all. Alright, see you, Brian. Thanks for popping in. Really appreciate it. lot of people taking their little naps here and there. You watch, Wargaming Recon is going to pop back right after we're finishing the stream. But I'm gonna try and go as long as possible for him, just so we can hang out with us for a little bit. All right, let's come back to that. I don't know how these rooms are meant to be organised. It talks about a huge amount of musical instruments in this room, but you've got to keep this clearing and this clearing open. And it's only 10 feet wide. It seems to me like getting through these rooms would be difficult. Okay, stop. Come on. Oh yeah, Alex Vixen, that does not sound innocent at all. You enter a tastefully painted room, some 15 by 15 by 10 feet in dimensions. Around you, on every flat surface, are dolls. Dolls of different makes, species, and size. Yeah. I am not going in there, like, at all. This is the type of thing I was looking for. Right there. Yeah, right there. Oh, or that one. Let's do that one. Alright, and then we want to throw a bottle on top of this. And then we're going to do some fog and smoke coming off it. And I think we will pick... Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. Let's get rid of my notes so we can actually see what we're doing here. Fragrances, table, bottles, shells, and we know we've got to do smoke. Okay, great. Alright, let's get the smoke going on. Oh, hold on. I am definitely going to actually Google that, Alex. I'm doing it. That is an appropriate picture to come up, I think. Okay, so, oh, doll like Golem, capable of soul transference. Okay, so how did this work out for your party? Now I am very curious. That's gonna work. Oh, that is definitely gonna work, son. Get in there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Hey, Pex is here. Hey, Pex. 6-man team. 4 got possessed. The other 2 worked it out an hour later when the party mage didn't insult the fighter for being stupid. So, how do you pass notes to your players and you tell them that they've been possessed and this is how they need to roleplay it? How did you handle that? Alex Vixen has the players use a DS. What's a DS? With each of them in a separate room, so I can pass notes to them without. Oh, that. Okay. What's a Hedge Knight Halfling? I know what a Halfling is. What is a Hedge Knight? I've not played, honestly, a Dungeons and Dragons style game in years. I've done a virtual Ravenloft, and that's about it. I am well out of touch with the fantasy aspect of role-playing right now. Because I run Call of Cthulhu, and Jack runs Shadowrun. And we love playing those games, so we've not really had our fantasy on for years. I'm giving, I've probably been going for maybe 3 hours today, by the way. So I'm probably intending to go for about 45 more minutes. Or until I have these rooms here finished. Thereabouts. A Wandering Knight. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I actually want to do more science fiction. Trubo. I'd like play Star Wars or The Expanse or something. Or Traveller. You probably can't really see what I'm doing here, so let me zoom in a little bit. Just so we could see these rooms taking shape. Hey, it's Marion. Good to see you, my friend. What would you watch? By the way, I'm just filling this room with the clutter of little statuettes. That's what I'm doing here. Aaron Sully 113, good to see you. We are working on the very large Necropolis map for Frog God Games. We've been reading out the descriptions of all of the rooms and creating them as we go. We worked on this room earlier today, right down to the statue, and I'm currently populating these 3 rooms right here. The one off to the left is full of incense bottles, etc., and mist, or smoke, perfumed smoke. This here is full of little statues and statuettes, and then this one's going to be full of musical instruments. Cthulhu Tech would be actually a good one. I do like a good Cthulhu setting, regardless of the time period. Trueball, what was wrong with the Starfinder ship combat? I have not even put my hands on a Starfinder book. I had no interest in Starfinder, to be honest with you. And that's not me being an elitist prig or anything like that. Aaron, Sully, new to D&D. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everyone in this channel is a tabletop roleplay right now. I'm working on a map for a reboot of this. It's called Necropolis. It's a campaign setting. It's going to get re-released this year for 5e, so I'm working on the map for it. And we're just talking role-playing right now. Games we like and so on. Games we've played in. What are the best games for ship combat, starship combat? Thank you for the follow. That's really appreciated. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays currently. I'm always working on a map for some tabletop RPG publisher. That's why I'm in the D&D category. We talk a lot about gaming in general as I draw the maps, you know. And I'm always typically drawing for Frogart Games, Troll Lord Games, and their upcoming projects. We did the Gaxmore map last year. I worked on the Garrycon map. The Garrycon that unfortunately didn't actually happen due to COVID, but we did the Garrycon map for that. So we're always doing a map to do with something in the tabletop RPG industry over here. And we just hang out. And I'm probably going to stream for about another half hour or so as I'm working on these rooms here. And I'll be doing a lot of this map here in the next 2 months. I like my combat, any type of combat to be realistic but fast, you know. So it's like I can handle Shadowrun combat because once you get used to the dice that are used, it's fast. But I don't like Shadowrun grenade rules because math. It just gets ridiculous. Like I'm okay with the D20 system because you can picture a lot of what's going on in the combat as you're doing it. I don't like the grapple rules. So I like a little bit of crunch, but it's still got to flow. It can't hold up the game. I don't know if that answers the question. I used to love Traveller. That's probably one of the first areas I started drawing maps. I would draw ship maps for Traveller all of the time. I loved drawing ship maps. 15mm scale. Like, oh my god. Way too much fun. Aaron Sully would love to play as a magic elf person. Well, certainly there's plenty of opportunity for that in Dungeons and Dragons. So, Aaron Sully, do you have a group, or is this just something that you've been looking to get into? What's the Dragonlance announcement? Do you know? I gotta be honest with you, I kinda like 5e. Like, I'm okay with 5e. I know that it gets a little bit of hate, but I've never quite understood it, to be honest with you. Oh, Aaron, I'm sorry to hear that. That's kind of... It's one of those things, isn't it? I feel like... I'm not sure if my computer's crashing, by the way. I feel like something has happened to my computer. Something's locked up here. See what's going on. I have the Windows, you know, when it does that green bar thing on the search, it's been going for ages, and I think that green it's done something. I think my, what do they call that, the Windows search, Windows Explorer, I feel like it's crashed. Yeah, you guys don't need to see this. Let me drag this off to one side. Yeah, the way I fixed this in the past is rebooting my machine, but I don't want to do that right now. My Photoshop seems to be fine, but my Windows Explorer is not. And I don't know what to shut down. Well, I do have a Windows Explorer right there, but if I shut down Windows Explorer, does that take everything with it? Well, I could try it. Let's see what happens. Well, now I've just got bunnies and stuff on the stream. Hold on a sec. What's going on? Where is my Photoshop? Like, why can't I get my Photoshop back? I don't even know why Discord is up. Hold on a sec. Something's going on here. So there's that. Oh, I've got a little whirly thing. Yeah, everything seems to be operating normally, but look at this. Look at the little thing. Like, Photoshop has not crashed. But definitely Windows is doing something weird here. Triple, I would not rule that out. I would not rule that out. The question is now, though, I need to save Photoshop. Necropolis is not responding. Well, that's unfortunate. That actually might be the end of the stream then, if that's going to be a thing, because I'm going to have to do a system restart. So, gentlemanly thoughts. It's not personal at all. It's I'm happy to discuss it. I typically and let me answer this in two ways. One is I have about 4 scales of map that I draw at. Let's say we've got quarter panel, half page, full page, and they typically carry with them low detail, medium detail, high detail. Am I doing black and white or color? Based upon that, I can give you a ballpark price that falls in one of 3 areas, and then I have a special price range, which is for the really the big maps, the showpiece maps, the one-off maps, right, like Teagle. And then those I typically translate in a per hour cost to them. The price 1, price 2, price 3 roughly fall into an hour range. For example, I know that my let's say call it price tier C, where it's let's call it a full page, which typically I draw at about 22 inches, right? If I'm doing a 22-inch map, that's a small poster. I know that it typically takes me about 60 to 80 hours to do that, and I price my maps out accordingly. Anything that falls above 60 to 80 hours is a special case, and that's all of the maps I'm working on nowadays. And those I typically, because of the people that are asking for them, I tell them how many hours, they pay me by the hour after that. That's typically how I fall. Alex Vixen, you're right. Big, huge, bloody hell, and my computer is dying. And my computer has died right now. I think I am going to have to restart. That's really unfortunate, but I think I am going to have to. So I think I'm not sure this one's worth flogging anymore. I'm going to have to restart, and I'm going to have to see that I can rescue this map right here. I think that's where I'm at. Do I use something like Seed Cleaner? I have in the past. How would that help me right now? Yeah, I had Seed Clean on my last machine. I don't have it on this one. Like, everything about my machine right now is, I mean, look at this. 10%, maybe 12% CPU utilization. Like, no problems here at all. Memory, I'm only using like 45 of my 64 available, so I'm not even maxed out on that. It's my Photoshop that has stopped responding here. This might be a Photoshop crash, although I was noticing my Windows Explorer was really having a hard time. So if I have had some kind of Windows update happen in the background and it's taken things with it, I mean, look, this is still doing a whirly gig right here, and I don't know what I can do to try and even attempt to fix that. Alright, well look, I tell you, this is an unfortunate way to end the stream, but it does happen, right? So, I'm going to stop the stream here. We are going to be back on this map. We are going to be doing a lot of work on this map. I feel like we made some good progress. Let's assume that it's not going to completely crash on me and take all of our work with it, but it should have some kind of save file or recovery file that I'm going to try and hit up immediately. I'm going to reboot my machine. I've got to. I can't continue drawing right now. So apart from sitting there and go, I'll be back tomorrow. I can't even switch to the thank you slide right now. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'll let everyone know on my Discord channel how the reboot went. It was probably due. So it's all good. It's fine. And worst case scenario, we've lost a little bit of work that I can get back. I'm not too bothered. So with that said, I'm going to bid everyone adieu. I'm going to stop the stream right here. And we're going to be back tomorrow. And tomorrow night we are colouring the Castle Keeper's Guide. So we're back on that one with picking a new panel to start working on. So everyone have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. This was just an impromptu Sunday stream while I was working on the Necropolis map right here. I'll be back tomorrow on our normal, scheduled routine. Until then, everyone have a great rest of your day. I will see you on the flip side. See you all tomorrow.